I'm not offended by much, but I'm almost offended in college football by these non-BCS fans. Boise State, TCU, all these fans of non-BCS. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, what does BCS mean? Basically, the way college football works, you're in two categories. You're a BCS team or a non-BCS. BCS is the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, the ACC, the Pac-10, big boy football. Non-BCS is, Mountain West, the Sun Belt Conference. They're not deemed as worthy enough to get automatic bids into certain things. I am almost offended by the Boise State fan bases, almost, if I was the kind of guy that got offended, or TCU fan bases. And the reason is I see today that Texas, 2 weeks ago, scheduled out-of-conference games, meaning they don't have to play these. They're going to go play Notre Dame twice. Yesterday they announced they're going to go play USC twice. They played Ohio State. So Texas, who already has to play Oklahoma and Texas Tech and big boy games, has said, we're going to add USC to it. We're going to add Ohio State to it. We're going to add Notre Dame to it. They don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. But yet Boise State and all these non-BCS fans are demanding if they go undefeated, they should have a right to play in the national championship. Because why? Because you beat another non-BCS team? Boise State's 2-4 in middle of the pack bowl games in their last 6. One of them at home they lost to Boston College. And they believe if they go undefeated, they have the right. You don't have anything. I'm almost offended by you folks. Your schedule is overwhelmingly garbage. Boise State doesn't play a true road game all year this year against the BCS team. And by the way, the last 13 BCS opponents they played, big boy football, they're 6-7. The last 2 times Boise State has played in front of over 90,000. At Georgia and at Arkansas. As a road team, they've been crushed. I mean, think about, why is Boise State ranked 3rd in the country and Georgia's not? Georgia returns 20 starters. Georgia won 9-10 games. Georgia actually beats BCS teams. You go look at the Big Ten. For Ohio State to go undefeated in an average year, yet they have to play at Michigan, 108,000. Nebraska, 86,000 next year. 80,000 Wisconsin. 70,000 Iowa. 106,000 Penn State. Boise State and TCU play in front of 28,000 fans all year. They never once have a drive screwed up because of a crowd. They don't have to spend all week worrying about how they won't be able to hear each other on the road. You give anybody Boise State's schedule. Stanford, Michigan, Notre Dame, they all go 11-1. But these fans believe based on what? And this is what drives me crazy. Reese Davis, who works for this network, and it drives him crazy too. It's not the preseason polls. I mean, I don't like them. But it's the pollsters. Basically, local media is afraid to be hated. They don't want to get feedback. So in the Heisman voting, they vote for their local guy. The Southern voters vote for the Southern player, and the Western voters vote for the Western players, and the Big Ten media votes for the Big Ten Midwest player in the Heisman voting because they're all afraid of hate mail. Boise State doesn't have one player who'd start for Florida, including their quarterback. That Florida kid is going to be a #1 pick in the draft in 3 years. And Boise State's ahead of them to start the season because people are afraid. The media lacks courage. They don't want to get hate mail. They don't want to be told that. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Boise State has no right to play for a national title, although love their coach, love their program, love their players, love their spirit, love. If you go 38-0 in college basketball, do you get a #1 seed? No. Not if you play in the Atlantic Conference. In college basketball, you can go 38-1. You'll still get a 4 seed if you're in a lousy conference. You don't get a #1 seed. And that's even when you have to earn it. Give me an AP vote. I'll put them at 14th, 18th. Why would I have them ahead of Georgia? Why in the world would I have Boise State ahead of Georgia? They return the same number of players, and I know Georgia recruits elite players. Drives me nuts.